Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and I'm so pleased to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. Now, you're preparing to enter one of the most exciting industries in the world. But there's a fundamental challenge that can hold even the very best hotels back. That's what we're going to dig into today, and more importantly, how you can be the one to solve it.
So let's start with a big question, one you're pretty much guaranteed to face the moment you step into a management role. Why is it that the commercial teams, sales, marketing, and revenue, so often seem to be pulling in different directions, even though they're all under the same roof? It's a disconnect that costs hotels a fortune, and figuring out how to fix it, well, that's going to be a huge key to your success.
The answer really comes down to one thing, something we call the silo disconnect. It's an incredibly common challenge right across the industry, where each department kind of operates in its own little world, isolated from the others. So let's take a look at the direct and honestly often damaging impact this has on a hotel's bottom line.
And wow, the contrast couldn't be more clear. When your teams are siloed, what do you get? You get internal conflict, you get inaccurate data because no one's sharing, and you get so many missed opportunities. It all leads to subpar results. But when they collaborate, everything changes. You get team cohesion, shared intelligence, a powerful, unified strategy, and ultimately optimized hotel performance. It's the difference between everyone pulling in different directions and a team that's rowing in perfect sync.
Okay, so if silos are the problem, what's the solution? Well, it's a framework known as collaborative planning. And this is the strategic approach that can transform those isolated departments into one powerful, unified commercial engine.
So what exactly is collaborative planning? The best way to think of it is as a system. It's a deliberate framework you put in place to get your sales, marketing, and revenue teams on the same page. The real magic happens with two key ingredients: shared objectives and coordinated actions. It's all about making sure everyone is aiming for the exact same target and then working together to hit it.
This really highlights a core principle you're learning right now at Europe Hotel School. Putting in that work upfront to get everyone aligned during the planning phase is what prevents all that friction and conflict when it's time to actually execute the plan. This isn't just some theory. This is the absolute foundation of effective hotel management.
So what does this actually look like in a real functioning hotel? Let's explore the real-world impact of this collaborative approach. And it all begins with the incredible power of shared goals.
And this is so important. You simply cannot have a cohesive strategy if you don't first have shared goals. It's impossible. But when the revenue manager, the director of sales, and the marketing manager all sit down and agree on the key targets, whether that's RevPAR or occupancy for a specific month or group booking goals, their individual strategies will naturally start to support each other instead of competing against one another.
And hey, the proof is right here in the numbers. This chart tells the whole story. Look at the siloed campaign. Maybe marketing pushed a big weekend deal without realizing revenue had already forecasted really high demand. It scores a 45 on profitability. Now, look at the collaborative campaign, where every team worked together. A profitability score of 85. That massive difference? That's pure profit, and it goes straight to the hotel's bottom line.
All right, so we've covered the why this is so important. Now let's get into the how. How does this actually work in a fast-paced hotel environment? It's time to move from theory into the practical steps that you can actually take.
A perfect example of this is joint forecasting. So instead of each team creating its own separate forecast in a vacuum, a collaborative approach integrates everyone's perspective. The sales team brings their insights on corporate accounts and group leads, marketing contributes all their intelligence on market trends and what demand their campaigns are generating, and of course, the revenue team brings its powerful data analytics on pricing and historical performance. What's the result? You get a single, much more accurate forecast that lets you allocate your resources way smarter.
You can really break this down into a clear, repeatable four-step process. First, you establish those absolutely critical shared goals. Second, you conduct that joint forecasting, pooling all your team's intelligence together. Third, based on that shared forecast, you align your campaigns and your pricing strategy. And finally, and this is key, you create a cycle of success by regularly reviewing your performance and adapting together.
Let's just focus on step 3 for a second. When your marketing campaigns are totally aligned with sales priorities and revenue strategies, you just get higher conversion rates and better profitability. And this is why it matters for your career. This is how you demonstrate your value. It's how you connect the dots between a marketing budget and tangible, measurable revenue for your hotel.
But this whole process does way more than just boost short-term profits. It built something that's far more valuable in the long run, an agile commercial team. A team that can really thrive in a market that is constantly changing.
Because this isn't a set-it-and-forget-it kind of strategy. That fourth step, review and adapt, is what makes this whole thing so incredibly powerful. By meeting regularly, the team becomes just so much more adaptable. They can pivot together almost instantly, whether it's to capitalize on a surprise citywide event or respond to a new competitor's aggressive pricing. This is how you build a truly resilient and intelligent operation.
So, I'll end with a question for you. One to really think about as you move forward in your studies and then out into your careers. Knowing what you know now about the immense value of a unified approach, what is the very first practical step you will take as a future leader to start breaking down those silos and fostering collaboration within your team? The success of your hotel just might depend on your answer.